There's my timestamp telling us exactly what time it is, PM, and the date and all that. Working on getting my heads loose. I've just been working on pulling these plugs for the wiring. So far, only ones I haven't gotten is this one back here and this one back here. So that's where we're at. Alright, here's the valve cover bolts. I've got them set down over here for the passenger side valve cover. Shoot. Can't quite get the camera to hold. That ought to work. Oh, looks like it's pry bar time again. Alright, we got our pry bar. Working on passenger side valve cover. Just broke loose. Alright, we'll be back to get the driver's side. Here is today's report. I have successfully removed the power steering pump and power steering bracket. It has been a long time since I've seen progress on this truck. Aha. Today's report is a slightly happier one. We've got the lower intake manifold gasket, as well as the lower intake manifold out of the engine. I am screaming hip hip hooray. This thing has been holding me up for too long now. I'm finally making some good headway. So, we're going to continue with our good progress. So you can see some of this engine components are just gross because of the way that they have been. So, we're going to continue working on it. Down in here, there's a lot of the water oil mix, and it's quite disgusting, as you can see on the gasket. I just loosened the head bolts, so now we're in the process of getting passenger side head off. This is a momentous moment in this project, because sadly my daily has become my project car. Oh, I forgot. Might have to pry it.
Passenger side head. So, freaking awesome. This right here is off the factory wiring harness. This is one of these smaller red marked wires. And we're unplugging it now. Sorry, buddy. These look like they're actually emissions sensors connectors. Trash bag is going to hang out here. I know it's atrocious. I could have picked any spot that would have been better to work on this truck. Well, whatever. You're not me, so don't judge. There we go. Now time for the main event. That is this big dude. And the little dude. Okay, we have the wiring harness disconnected here. The main positive point and the main negative point, and the exhaust emissions sensors all disconnected. Now it's time, finally, to move this factory wiring harness out of the way. For now. There's no such thing as turning it out of the way with a car project. Huh. Turns out, sunlight can heat up the battery in a GoPro to actually charge it up and give it a second bar, only for that second bar to fade away. Maybe on the original GoPro only. Well, whatever. Point is, we're wrapping up today. This is the part that I pulled off of this clamp here. And it was clamped onto the hose, and I accidentally, because of my negligence and inexperience, twisted off the end of the hose, so I've got to replace this entire copper or steel, whatever type of line it is, but I've got to replace the whole thing. So that's where we're wrapping up today. We also pulled the radiator, the fan, water pump, and what else did I get done today? Well, anyways. Oh, I started using WD-40 to try and clean up the pistons a bit. So far, this cylinder right here is the only one where the piston doesn't look like shit. well, that's what we got going for us. I totally just missed it. The GoPro was over here. I was holding it like this, rolling over the engine, and all of a sudden, these two hummingbirds, I think they were mating. They came up, and they were like going at each other in the sky right here, just flying in the air, and then they landed right down there. And just one parked right here, and stayed still, and just looked across at the other that was parked right here, and just looked across. And I'm like, oh cow, get the GoPro. I'm looking over here thinking I left it here all day. Why isn't it there? And I looked back over there, and the GoPro was gone. So, I just got it. We missed something awesome. So since my shop is the great outdoors, that's why the audio quality is awful. Audio quality is awful. I'm using 60 grit sandpaper right now to sand off the reservoir surfaces where I need to put gasket seal and stuff to lock back on the cover to seal the radiator overflow / windshield wiper fluid reservoir. So much fun. Alright, so I just got done sanding down the surface where I'm going to put the cover on, along with the, I need to put some kind of sealer, like probably a little bit of rubber seal inside this little liner right here. But, got that done. Well, I am now putting WD-40 in to get this rust out of this reservoir. And I'm going to continue to try and scrub it with rag. Hopefully it'll actually work. As far as getting it clean. So far, it has taken off a nice chunk of the rust that was leveled up right there. So, working on it, and I'll continue working on it. I'm now going to try to get the individual lifters taken apart and then rebuild them. So, I'm watching this video. I will definitely link it in the description, because if I hadn't watched this video, I would not have gotten the idea to redo my lifters. So, yep. Well, I'm working on the first lifter still. Pretty lame, pretty stupid. I'll get you a timestamp so that way you guys know exactly what time it is here in, oh, I hate saying it, Las Vegas, Nevada. There's timestamp. It's 4:10:45 seconds p.m. Saturday, March 20th. So, since I live with a carpenter and not a plexiglass guy, not sure if I've already said this, but I don't have plexiglass to go with what was in that video. So, what we're going to do is a little bit of woodwork. We're using our good old Makita drill. Like I said, carpenter's house, carpenter's tools. It's real fun, real nice. You can see the action here. See, the whole point of this is just so that way this piece right here can rest down while I am reassembling the lifters. So, see if that works there. A little more. This is also a trick for those of you who don't know. There's a trick that when you're drilling a hole in wood, or well, at least wood, when you don't want to make the hole a whole lot bigger than the bit size you have, but for the purpose that you need to use it for, it does need to be a little bit wider. You can actually go around the edges of drilling the hole, and it will actually widen it for your purpose and function without destroying any of your tools or the material you're working with. Ah, yes, and there is a very important small spring in there. Don't want to lose it. Don't lose it. Have a mighty fine, I don't know, a mighty large conniption fit if I lost that. Mighty fine is what you want to be. A mighty large conniption fit is not what you want. I also recommend that you don't do this in the laundry room. And it fits, it works, it functions. That's amazing. Let's drill it just a little bit deeper. Now, time for a trip to AutoZone to go pick up motor oil and brake clean. We're now in twilight hours between light, to me. It might mean something else, but whatever. But this side is on a jack stand because the jack stand's too big. And this side is on a jack stand properly because I only have the one jack stand. Maybe that's something I should have asked when my family came down from Idaho. Hey, can you bring my jack stand, please? But yeah, I'm borrowing my grandpa's 3-ton jack stand, and I'm going to be working on the 4-wheel drive at some point before I start driving, so that way I can drive 4-wheel drive and have everything functioning 100%. A mirrors in the near future too. I promise. This truck is going to be looking very clean. Cleaner than it already does. Alright, so this is part of the lifter. This is the inner part of the cap that's on the top of the lifter where the rod goes onto it. This is a push rod engine, so it has rods that go in the engine and go against the lifters, and the lifters are on the cam and move everything up and down. It's different than a lot of modern engines where they run variable valve timing and stuff, but this is kind of how OCD I am, is taking a Q-tip. The guy in the video said that you should really use your Q-tips a lot to get the carbon buildup off of these lifter parts, because the cleaner it is when it goes back into your engine, the better a part and your engine as a whole will run. So, you know, there's the more. Alright, I spent my time cleaning this lifter, so now I'm going to use my precision needle, which is really just a bent paper clip. I'm going to lay the spring in. Okay, lay the spring into the cap. Excellent. Now I'm going to place the ball. Now you can see it in the cap on the spring. Now I'm going to place this part of the lifter Yep, now I see why that guy said not to drill too deep. Shoot! Well, this is fun. Most other channels would delete their troubles so that it's all off screen. You can't really see. Well, now it's ready. Almost. Perfect. Now we've got this portion of the lifter put back together. The cap goes around this part right here, but for now we need to get some oil in the spring. So first, we're going to get some oil. I'm running the same oil as my truck requires. High mileage. Oh, that's 5 watt 20. Well, whatever. Thought it was 5 watt 30, but you know, we'll figure it out. Now we're going to run clean side of the Q-tip like a push rod. And they say the lifter cap is brittle and easy to break, and you can't replace it. So, I don't know how true that is, but we're going based off of that. it's in, I believe. Yep, it's in. It rotates and it all matches up very clean. So before I put this lifter back in the bag, that I have it neatly labeled, now well, that's one lifter rebuilt. Ooh, you want a dip? Said it wanted a dip, so I give my truck what it wants when it wants, because you should. So my old GoPro, this is my GoPro. I haven't bought a new GoPro. I've never bought a GoPro for myself, but this one was given to me by my grandma a couple years ago, back when it was just 2 generations old at GoPro. So, the problem with time-lapsing on this one, the reason I can't really time-lapse, is because when it time-lapses, it only takes a bunch of pictures and it doesn't keep them as a single file. It makes it look like I have 274 photos. So it's not exactly the coolest video format. So that's part of why I do a lot more video and then just straight pictures on this camera. I'm about to start second lifter now. Gosh, it's the next day, you haven't done the lifter? Gosh, are you me? Are you doing everything I'm doing? No, calm down. It's okay, I'm working on it. Popping the cap off this lifter that hasn't been treated yet. Woo! It's always kind of scary to do that, because you don't want to break these parts. You don't ever want to break a part on a vehicle. What am I talking about? You don't ever want to break a part on a vehicle because you don't know whether or not you can replace it in that moment. So now I take my air with the needle, spits out this nice little dude, kind of full of oil. Now I add some brake clean into here. Quite a nice little add some brake clean there. Turned into put all the brake clean in. Oh, I reassembled that lifter wrong. That's gonna be a bastard if I let it. Mean. Mean, mean. Okay. Let's go put that back together. Boom. Ladies and gentlemen, I've corrected my error, and now we can finally bag and tag lifter number 1. Well, it's already tagged on the bag, but, you know. If you know, you know. Also, working with oil, your fingers might get slippery, so we're currently live streaming on a slightly better camera quality for Instagram. I'm talking to my GoPro for those of you who don't know. Hey, House of 1987, how you doing today? Right now I'm rebuilding the lifters for my 93 Ranger, so kind of just having something to do. If you want to chat, leave something in the comments or something. There is a little bit of a delay. I don't know exactly what the delay is in the comments, but I'll try and get back to it as soon as I can. I'm also going to be working, so awesome. So how are you doing today? And probably know you from somewhere, but sorry if I don't. It's fun to meet people, but lately a lot of people have been kind of scared of meeting other people. This is what I'm doing is I take the brake clean and add some to the part. Right, this is the ball bearing retainer that the spring on a ball bearing goes in. There's my precision needle that I use to pick the stuff up. So this is the spring right here that I have to work with. I don't know if the camera will focus enough for it, but it's a very small spring. I can't pick it up with my fingers, and it's just kind of awful that it just wants to be obstinate like this. So, but it does a job, and it's lasted 27 years. My truck is from 1993. I'm the fourth generation in my whole family to own it, drive it, and operate it, play around in it. So, just had to go talk to Buster. Almost done rebuilding this. I've got, you know what I forgot to do? Forgot to add oil. Well, now we're adding oil. Luckily I didn't cap everything off and cause myself pain, but that also means that I'm gonna have to add some oil. Oh, hey, Anish. I'm rebuilding the lifters, so my truck that decided it really wanted to be a crackhead because it liked you. The lifters are actually what makes it so that the engine will run. If I didn't redo the lifters like I am, it would not run, and it would definitely not run properly. Sort of. Have you seen my TikTok? I put up a TikTok where I actually showed the radio. I turned the radio on to see what music was on and what might be playing at the time, and it came on that "Hanging by a Memory." Oh, she misses you. My baby misses you just as much as you miss her. And she'll be running strong soon. No more of these stupid running problems. I was talking to Anish because I've got her on the live stream. So, I've got my GoPro recording just so that way I can make a good YouTube video out of this. Hey. Heck yeah. Okay, sweet. got the lifter put back together. This lifter here is pretty filthy. If you can kind of see it flashing the light at the camera, but it's super freaking gross. So, okay, I don't know if I've done this yet, but here's the full reassembly of lifter number 5. And that's reassembled. Now time for the cap. Perfect. Lifter number 5 is done. Nutrition is essential. So all that stuff that looks like it's might be bronze, or oh, maybe that's they just machined it that way. No, that is carbon buildup. It's very gross. I mean, it's not like disgusting, gonna kill you if you lick it, but I don't know from experience on that. Don't lick stuff. It's really stupid. Why would you keep your tongue in your mouth? That's where it goes. I'm getting hungry, and it's Sunday, so I don't eat out on Sundays. And I don't hardly ever eat out because I used to work in a restaurants business, and I don't like eating in restaurants anymore. I mean, we didn't do anything bad. I didn't do anything bad. It's just, I prefer to make my own food. So I'm gonna go grab something to eat. Sandwich. I sliced some cheese off the block of Colby Jack. So, I know, there's some big slices and applying to everything, but it's okay. Well, I rebuilt the lifters and finished them while I was on the phone with my English friend B. And here they are, all bagged and tagged. And this is my order of which I pulled them out of the block. So I'm going to put them back in just like pretty sure that's good. Yeah, it's resurfacing the mounting point for the gasket on the upper intake manifold. Because I sandblasted it last night, so now it looks fairly clean. And considering putting some paint on it, but sadly you guys won't get to choose what paint I put on it, but you can comment below what you guess the paint I put on it